Hey, it's your average consumer. I just want to let you guys know that this channel was made with the average consumer in mind. Alright, let's get to another tech video. Hey, what's going on everyone? It's your average consumer. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a different video. I'm not going to be doing your regular review or unboxing. It's actually going to be a recap of today's Apple event. So, let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so here we're seeing the iPhone 5, and there aren't too many changes compared to the iPhone 4S. Of course, we have a new larger display that's 4 inches instead of 3.5 that almost all the other iPhones have had previously. And the back is now aluminum instead of that glass that the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 4S had. And also, besides the 4-inch screen, the aluminum back, it is a bit thinner. So it's thinner than the previous 4S. And pretty much that's all that's changed on the outside of the phone itself. The 4-inch display is a welcome change. I think the cell phone market is leaning towards that. As you can see, all the Android phones now have like 4.3 inches and higher. So it's good to see that Apple's following the market a bit, especially when it tries to be the trendsetter itself. So that's going to be a welcome change. You'll be able to watch HD videos now without the letterboxes, those black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. So now you should just be able to see the video and it take up just the whole screen. So that's going to be a really welcome change. And besides the the exterior, Apple's got some changes on the internals as well. One of the changes is actually the new lightning cable port, I guess you could say, that it now has. Instead of the 30-pin connector that almost all Apple products have been using in the past, like your iPods, your old iPhones, that's no longer going to be useful with the new iPhone. But even though they did change that, there is going to be a new way to put an adapter onto those old cables and plug it into the new iPhone. So all isn't lost with that, but that new adapter will cost $30. So it's a bit pricey. It's going to be okay though, because of course it's going to come with one of those cables. And what's really cool about one of those cables is that you can use it upside down or right side up. Either way, it doesn't affect it, so you don't have to play like a guessing game on how you're going to plug in your device. You can just plug it in however which way you want without that little confusion that typically have when plugging in your phone. Also, another change that's come with the new iPod, iPhone, all that, is the new earbuds. I think they're called AirPods now. It's a very interesting new design on the headphones that usually come with the iPhones. And I don't know, I can't really tell if it's in-ear or just regular earbuds. It's going to be really interesting to see. It looks like in-ear headphones, but I don't know. They say it's supposed to be great, of course. Apple's the ones who talked about it, so of course they're going to say it's great. So we have more to see on that. And we've already spoken about the 4-inch display. It's still Retina. It has all the bells and whistles of the old previous iPhones. It's just got that longer display now. And what's really cool about these is that it has new antennas that'll make it work with LTE signals. And with the LTE, it's going to get a lot more data speeds that'll just make web browsing a lot faster, downloading apps faster, all that typical stuff. It's going to, of course, faster speeds means more data usage, so that's something to look out for. And also, you're going to get dual band Wi-Fi, so that means you're going to get faster Wi-Fi speeds, which I think is the biggest bonus of them all, because when you're home, you can use your Wi-Fi signal and it not be diminished because your iPhone can't handle it. So now it's going to be able to handle more Wi-Fi speeds, and that's going to be a great thing. And of course, it has an A6 processor, which means you're going to get better gaming experience with these. You're going to be able to play games better. It's going to run faster. Probably not too much faster. The average consumer probably won't notice it right off the bat. A brand new iPhone 5 and a brand new iPhone 4S won't really seem that much faster side by side, I'm sure. But I'm sure once you get more apps and things on there, you'll be able to see that it'll stay responsive a bit longer than the old iPhone. So that's going to be a welcome change as well. And of course, this is all going for $199 for the I guess the 16 gig, and then it'll be increasing by $100 per size. So if you want $199, that's going to be 16. $299 is 32, and of course $399 is going to give you the 64 gig. That is of course on contract. Off contract, I'm not sure if they've listed the prices yet, but that's how much it's going for on contract. And also, besides the new iPhone, they announced new iPods. So that's going to be really cool to see as well. I'm a big fan of the iPod Touch myself. That's what I typically use as my iOS device. I'm an Android phone user, so having an iPod Touch kind of gives me the best of both worlds. And with the new iPod Touch, it's going to be very similar to the iPhone 5. It's going to have the 4-inch display, Retina display, all that good stuff. It's going to come in a bunch of new fancy colors, as you can see here. Very interesting. It's going to be great. I am curious about this black one though, because they haven't shown the front of that, and I just wonder if it's going to have the black bezel or if it's going to have this white bezel that we see here. So really wondering what that's going to be like. And you know, they're all going to come with the new earpods that they're talking about, so definitely something to look forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, the iPod, so I can get that iOS 6 experience that's similar to the iPhone 5 but on an iPod, while still being able to keep my Android. And this is all on the A5 chip, so that means it's going to be a little faster and better, more responsive than the previous iPods, which is pretty good considering that, you know, these are newer. It's been 2 years since the iPod got a real upgrade, so that's going to be pretty cool to see. Alright, so now the iPod Nano has also gotten a bit of an upgrade. Like I said, the iPods were a bit more exciting to me than the iPhone 5 because we've seen a bunch of leaked images of the iPhone 5. We kind of knew what was coming, but I didn't see anything about this iPod Nano happening. So it's really interesting to see that they gave it a bigger screen. You know, of course they kept a touch screen, and now it's got a home button and everything. So it's getting similar to the iPod Touch, but still keeping that, but still without going outside of that iPod Nano aspect. So it's really nice that it's been able to do that there, and it's going to be really interesting to see how people pick up and use these. These are going to start off for about $149.99 for the 16 gigabyte version. And I didn't mention the iPod pricing. The iPods are actually going to cost about, let me see here, I believe it's going to start off at around $299 for the iPod Touches. There you go. So it's $299 for the new iPod Touch, and of course, as you increase your size, the prices will increase as well. I'm most interested about the iPod Touch. They've all looked like they're going to be pretty good devices. The iPhone 5 looks like it's going to be really nice, even though some people aren't going to be wowed by the new, you know, design and all that. But that's only because we've seen a lot of the pictures already that have been leaked, and we've been hearing tons of rumors. So that's probably why people aren't too surprised. But overall, I think it's going to be a really good product launch. A lot of new stuff that's going to be coming out. There's going to be a new iTunes as well. So that's going to be released in October, and it's going to be pretty nice to see. And that pretty much wraps up my recap of what was released and announced today in the Apple event. If you guys like videos like this, where I kind of just give my impressions on the new products that are being announced, like the Kindle Fire passed the other day. The new Kindle Fire HD came out the other day, and I didn't really speak about that. But if you guys want to see my impressions of these things when they're released to the press, let me know and I'll make more videos like it. Pretty much that's about it, guys. It's your average consumer. I'll check you guys in the next video. Till then, peace.